Welcome, beloved Sangha, to our Jewel Ornament of Liberation series with our Venerable Khenpo Tenzin. We'll begin in the Yellow Garchen Buddhist Institute prayer book on page 4 and page 5 with opening prayers. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Dongge doji jaje rezon ro jinje mata duju bonjon ba sarje lomba tavre jibek shaje jarbe jadang jan za dorjen janje delo naro da mabamala juje gambo ba bamodra ba jawan rugom Ajo lama namje da jo je da nan zara tamje da lama laba la ye ji so so la so yon de jam so ngala Dendra donjen rebe gele zor da ge lo ju son do vara sinje labdo zor ju lam don do vara sinje labdos lam drova ze vara sinje labdo zor drova ye ju son ja vara sinje labdo zor gange denjen re varan jong ga ba me ba che ba me ba ta me ba me ba ro me ba ta de du me du je me du ba ne je je dan ba zo ba san je ma nan dan ba de la jan zar de je za ba la ma je je gu zong do je zhen lan da da ge je lan bu da ge den ba da sun je je don la bo je ro ba sun je la do zo. Furthermore, may I please the authentic Guru and practice the Dharma day and night, having realized the Dharma and accomplishing its essential meaning. May I cross over the ocean of worldly existence in this very life. May I thoroughly teach the sublime Dharma within the world and never become disheartened or weary of accomplishing the benefit of others. Through working impartially for the great benefit of others, may all beings attain Buddhahood together. Listening to the transmissions and logic dispels the obscurations of ignorance. Contemplating the path instructions vanquishes the darkness of doubt. The light arising from meditation perfectly illuminates the abiding nature. May the light of the three wisdoms flourish. Okay. Many dear brothers and sisters, and we are practicing Dharma. So the meaning of Dharma is uh, we should change our mind. So how to change our mind is we have to purify afflictive emotions, angry emotions, jealousy, hatred, and self-grasping, and so forth. And we should cultivate loving kindness, compassion, and through this way we should help for all mother sentient beings, of course, human brothers and sisters, and animals, and all sentient beings. We often listen dharma and teaching dharma. So in the ultimate relative truth, we should we try to make good people, and we try to be a good person oneself, and try to make good people. Good people means compassionate and kind people. And then if there are compassionate people and kind people, then we can help each others. And externally, we try to make this universe is pure light. And also, all of these sufferings are related emotions, afflictive emotions. So we should purify them. We try to purify them. So we, if we have compassion and loving kindness, then we can cultivate many wonderful things. So then the main reason that we often teach and listen and practice are that. And then today is our teaching is on the second chapter. So third chapter. So we will continuously discuss on there. So these last week we talked bit more about third chapter. So today I'm going to teach continuously. So actually it says the it mentions that there are 4 Dharma masters. So the Dharma masters as a specific individual. And second, the Dharma master is a bodhisattva who has attained the levels Bhumi. Third, the Dharma master is as in emanation body Nirmanakaya of a Buddha. Fourth, the Dharma master is in enjoyment body Bodhisattva Sambhogakaya of Buddha. So Then today we are the third point concerns the specific characteristics of each of these four kinds of Dharma masters. Buddha embody the highest, most complete form of purification because they have eliminated both souls of obscuration. They also embody the highest, most complete form of pristine awareness because they possess the two forms of knowledge. So then, first the two kind of obscurations. Our first is obscuration of afflictive emotion, and second is cognitive obscurations. So cognitive obscurations obscure the attainment of omniscience. Omniscience is the form of the Turikayas, which is spontaneously established. In Tibetan, omniscience is Tamji Chimba. Tamji means all. In this case, Tamji refers to the essence of all things. And Chimba means paramodal wisdom. So obscurations cover omniscience. For example, there is a good mountain, gold mountain. Gold is yellow and shining, but if you look at it at night with wide open eyes, you still will not be able to see the mountain. So it doesn't matter how wide open your eyes are and how big and shining the gold mountain. Between your eye and the gold mountain, there is something you can't easily know or see what is there between your eyes and the mountain. Similarly, cognitive obscurations are very difficult to understand, but still it covers our wisdom. If it is dirt on our clothes, then this is a very fine dirt in the seams of our clothes. So it's not easy to remove. So we should purify it by making more effort. Actually, both these obscurations have lots of details and numerations. But if I go into it here, it will be too much for you. But in brief, to gain these two forms of omniscience, the omniscience of the wisdom that knows the nature of things, and the wisdom that sees the extent of knowledge, we should purify these two obscurations, the obscuration of afflictive emotion and the cognitive obscuration. Then if you have this book now in the page number 40, so Dharma masters as bodhisattvas on the levels will have whichever degree of purification and pristine awareness is appropriate to their particular level, from the first to the 10th. So according to the Suttarayana, there are 11 Bhumis. According to the Mantarayana, there are 13 Bhumis. We should travels both of these sides of Bhumis. As Buddha's single intent says, if either mantra or the vehicle of characteristics is lacking, complete awakening cannot be attained. So we should practice 6 Parjana Parimitas. 6 Parimitas. When we practicing 6 Parimitas, from generosity to concentration is including the vehicle of characteristics or Mahayana vehicle, and perfection of wisdom is including Mantarayana practice. So these both vehicles are necessary to liberate from samsara. So this Suttarayana practice, for instance, we practice generosity, keep discipline, its rules and regulations, and then we we practice tolerance, patience, and then diligence and meditation. Through these activities, we cultivate a great merit. For instance, if you practice generosity, which means you give something to others, but not only give some material things, but you share your loving kindness, you share compassion. Even someone asks, where is for example, where is the restaurant, where is a bathroom, you kindly help them. This is practicing of generosity. And someone request you to help something, and you help. All of them are practice of generosity. And then the result is at that moment that person happy, and when that person is happy, then you can you cultivate merit. So the result of the merit, and then in the future, people will reply good things for you, and then if you practice generosity, like a material things, and then in the future you will receive all of them to you. So all good things occur from merit, power of merit. And then also keep discipline and practice tolerance. All of them cultivate great merit, and of course then practice on the meditation, it or cultivate great merit. So that's where those are very important. And then the mantrayana means practice it related wisdom. Wisdom means we should try to recognize our natural state of mind. So our natural state of mind is completely pure, clear, lucidity, and blissful. So then, which means we liberate from suffering. We completely liberate from suffering. That's where we have to practice on the perfection of wisdom. Even we know the essence of the sufferings, then we will not suffer, which means we should know through our wisdom. So these two vehicles are very important. And then I mentioned about the Bhumis. So these the 11 Bhumis and 13 Bhumis. This Sutrayana mentioned 11 Bhumis, and Mantrayana mentioned 13 Bhumis. These Bhumis are actually paramajor wisdom. So when we purify obscurations, like removing clouds, this wisdom will arise. First, it is initially clear, and then it becomes widely apparent, and finally it is completely evident. So then this increase is giving numbers of stages. But if you don't have a dharma master and you reach the first bhumi, you may think that this is the end of the path, and that there is nothing beyond it. So you don't try to continue to purify, and you are fixated on the experience of the first bhumi. We mentioned great bliss, but many people haven't experienced it. But many people experience temporary happiness and try to gain it. And when they do, they fixate on it, like bees attached to the nectar of flowers, or moths drawn to a flame. Eventually, they are exhausted, trapped in the petals of a flower, or burned by the flame. Then of particular important are bodhisattvas of the 8th to 10th levels, for the have 10 powers, enabling them to nurture others. Powers related to life, mind, requisites, karma, birth, aspiration, prayers, miracles, pristine, awareness, and dharma. So the first power over life is the ability to stay in a world as long as wished. Power over life means realizing that while the body will exhaust it, because it is made of the elements, the mind will not die. It is knowing that the mind is birthless and deathless. So disciples who have faith, like Milarepa, he could see Marpa whenever he wished. And also he could see Marpa in the Pardo, and Pardo means between stage between next life and this life, and could and Milarepa could attain enlightenment indivisibly from the mind of Marpa, which means Marpa's mind is deathless. In terms of relative appearance, the Dharma master's body is established by the elements. So if students keep their samaya well and practice well and make their minds more happy. So how their mind makes more happy is the students have to cultivate loving kindness, compassion, and help each others, and help animals, help other beings. Through their bodies, try to avoid killing from a single end to all beings, and not engage in stealing and sexual misconduct. And if they don't accumulate negative karma of speech, for instance, not using harsh words, gossiping, divisive speech, lying, and so forth, but recite mantras, refuge prayers, dedication prayers, help others through their speech, and engage in dharma discussions. And through their minds, if they avoid three non-virtues and cultivate the three virtues, then Dharma masters will themselves dedicate to remain in that form longer in order to benefit disciples and all beings. And they can stay in this form longer because the power of the Tathagata's blessings and the power of disciples samayas. And then second power over mind is the ability to establish into meditative absorption just as is wished, because they have completely purified gross thought. They can remain in samadhi as long as they wish. So during Tantric practice, from the self-visualization of the Hong or Shi syllable in the heart chakra, radiate light that touch the yidams and bodhisattvas, and these yidams and bodhisattvas transform into light and are absorbed back into the Shi or Hong in the heart chakra. At that time, the yidams and bodhisattvas are not falling asleep. There, they remain in samadhi, and we wake them from the samadhi with the light that we radiate from the Hong or Shi syllable at our hearts. Then third power over requisite is the ability to shower in immeasurable rain of precious objects on being. Zambala is also a bodhisattva. If we talk a little bit about Zambala, the Buddha, he took rebirth in his previous lives as a poor wood collector who practiced Zambala and became a king through the merit of his practice. He only practiced the practice of generosity and reached the first Bhumi. There are different kinds of Zambala. Some Zambala deities have a big belly because they have a snake, a tail, which is rolled up and put in their stomach. So then they have a big belly. And then the fourth power over power over karma is the ability to rearrange karmic results in terms of dimension, state, type of existence, and mode of birth that might otherwise be experienced in other states. This means bodhisattvas working for the benefit of others with activities to fulfill beings needs seem to cultivate non-virtues, but they become familiar with special methods so that this action can become the cause of their enlightenment. According to the Tantras, the practices of union and liberation are uncomfortable, but through the perfection of method, they liberate others through this way. And then fifth, the power over birth is the ability to take rebirth in the desired realm, yet to always maintain profound meditative concentration and not experience any sort of degeneration, remaining completely unsullied by the evils of that state. According to the causal paramita vehicle, and Sutarayana Sim, whatever kind of rebirth they need to take, they can. In the Zopa Chimbo, it says one can become the sun and the moon. However, it will be taking many lifetimes, and one will take rebirth in the form of many beings. Then sixth, the power over aspiration is the ability to transform the elements, earth, water, and so forth, into one another as wished. If one wished that all the Buddhas fill the entire universe, they will. Then 7, power of prayer is the ability to pray or compose prayers in a way that will most properly accomplish the well-being of oneself and others. Also, the power to make prayers become relatives. Whatever one has the wish for, if one supplicates and prays, it will be accomplished. For example, whichever pure light one wishes to attain enlightenment in, one prayers for that. Then 8. Power over miracles is the ability to demonstrate countless miracles and supernatural feats in order to kindle aspiration in beings. Uh, all the countless pure lines and Buddhas, if they need to display them on the tip of a single hair in order to liberate other beings, they can. Then, am I right? 9. Power of pristine awareness is knowledge that encompasses in the best possible way the ultimate meaning of dharma, of key points of the true sense of words and bodhisattva prowess. Discriminating knowledge of dharma, which means they have great samadhi. The relative and ultimate forms of dharma are clearly understood. In this case, dharma means phenomena, and dharma too. They have a correct discrimination of objects or meaning and discriminating knowledge of language, which means exact understanding of different languages, the discriminating knowledge of eloquence, which means one purifies doubt, and one shows the method of liberation to purify others' doubts. When one gives teachings, they are clear, deep, captivating, and melodious. Then 10. Power of dharma is ability to teach, being that which is suited to them in just the right amount. This is achieved by presenting all the different nouns, streams, and the characters of dharma in the various sutras and other teachings in such a way that their sole speech is understood by each in his or her own language and in a totally satisfying way that makes sense. This means these bodhisattvas are very skillful and teach the dharma like boundless space. They bring it all into the 12 branches of scriptures. These are 1. Buddha's scriptures, 2. General teachings, 3. Hymns, and praises, 4th, prophecies, 5th, teach the verses, 6th, aphorisms, 7th, pragmatic narratives, 8th, biographical narratives, 9, narratives of former events as examples, 10th, narratives of former births, 11th, extensive teachings, 12, teachings in profound doctrine, which part is taught at what time and what level is clearly known, but you will study another time about that. Today I'm just introducing this. If you hear some part of this, we can accumulate great merit, and also we can understand a little bit about the direction we are headed in. Okay, then Dharma masters as a specific individuals have as their characteristics, qualities described sometimes as eightfold or fourfold or twofold. Of those with 8 qualities, Bodhisattva levels says, concerning the above, if one has 8 things, then one should be known as a Bodhisattva who is completely qualified as a Dharma master. What are the 8? They are: 1, to have a Bodhisattva's moral discipline. So in order to keep pure vows as a Bodhisattva, we must know that the vows are in the Samvara Vimsaha. It says there are 4 root samayas, and breaking them one compromise the Bodhisattva vows. They are when one praises oneself and denigrates others. At that time, one's Bodhisattva vow is in question. Then the beings stingy with the Dharma and withholding it from helpless beings who need it puts the Bodhisattva vow in question. Then if someone breaks their vows and commits non-virtues and comes to you to confess, and you don't listen or accept their confession, this also puts the Bodhisattva vows in question. Giving up great Mahayana practice with the wrong view, thinking something like this really doesn't help others, so from this day forward I will not practice. And if one teaches the Dharma without really knowing it, then that compromise the Bodhisattva vows. But here it said if one teach the Dharma without really knowing it, so the Dharma is, perhaps this is very easy, because what is a Dharma, as I mentioned this morning, Dharma means time over mind. So we cultivate loving kindness, compassion, and then everything's are Dharma teaching. You can teach, of course. So, and plus, you have the fundamental is you need loving kindness. Always think your actions, activities, speaking, and all of motivation, all for benefit others. These part are very, very important. And then if you have Dharma knowledge in the Suttarayana and Mantrayana vehicles, then that will be great, because then you can benefit more. Because our mind is right now, our mind is like a baby who can walk or crawl on the ground. That's why we should teach them how to stand up. And after they stand up, then we should teach them how to walk. And then they can walk. Then step by step we will teach how to read bicycles, motorcycles, vehicles, and that goes up. Then what is aeroplane? So if some kind of what is called the airplane, not driver, what is called? Pilot. Yeah, then they can reach so fast. For instance, from here to go some few hours far away, then it's immediately reach there through airplane. So similarly, if we know how to practice through Sutrayana and Mantrayana, then instantaneously we gain the realizations. We gain the realizations. So that will be wonderful. But I often said we can teach dharma. Dharma teach means even you are in the restaurant and you travel in the bus or you travel to the car, you meet different people. So you don't try to make them Buddhist. If they are good people, they are dharma practitioner, however. So, but what should you help them is how to be patient, how to help others, and how to cultivate loving kindness, especially how to keep happy mind. Happy mind means a healthy mind. If we have a healthy mind, then physically sometimes we have different problems, but the mind is like a king. So then the happy mind is very important. So all of them including Dharma teaching. And then you can explain how to protect the environment, how to save trees, waters. Really? So now I say how to save water, for example. Okay, we don't waste water. Even we wash face and brush, at that time we turn a little bit, turn on and then turn off. Be mindful. They all meditation, concentration. But then I already mentioned, if we know Sutrayana vehicle and Mantrayana vehicle, there are more benefit. Then I give you example. At that moment, water is not for only safe. I mean, it's not only for turn off. When even you turn on that water, you could see, you will able to see that is mamaki, drakini. It's a female yidam. Same like all these elements are the yidams. As our Dharma friends often asked, why do we have these colors? Do we have different colors? Because we have two parts of elements, outer elements and inner elements. Inner elements and outer elements, they are connected through colors. So then the power of inner elements, then these colors appear to us. So then in the relative form, suddenly we cannot recognize the emptiness and the non-duality. That's where we should trust these colors. And from these color, then yidams appear. The different forms appear there, from there. And these forms are yidam's form. And then our mind and these form connected, and then slowly we invited them and dissolve in our mind, and ourselves become yidam deities. So there are a lot of benefit if we know. So we can, when we teach and when we help others, for example, we teach others. Another way is if you have never been in a zoo, yeah, but you have a map, and you know English language, for example, and then your friend or someone comes to you, he or she don't know English language, but he or she willing to go inside of the zoo, where is elephants, where is other birds, and where is other zebra, and so forth. But they would like to see them, and you also did not went in the zoo the first time, but you have a map. But your friend has also map, but that he or she cannot understand that language. So you understand, or go number 1 to 3, there is the elephant group. 3 to 5, there is a bird. 5 to 7, there is other animals and so forth. So then you can help them. You go through this way, and then you go through that way. So that means how we help others through understanding the dharma. Of course, the best thing is you already being there, each and every places, and you already experienced, and then you tell, that will be wonderful. If not, still you can help others. Like now I gave you that example. So so we have many ways to help to our brothers and sisters. And then where did I? Okay, then second, to be learning in the bodhisattvas scriptures, as it says in the perfect teaching of the precious Rinpoche, learning our word each day, like in ant makes a nest or bees make honey, it will be accomplished before long. So so we should learn. There are many ways to learn. For instance, we learn meaning of vocabulary, or we only learn the vocabularies, and so forth. So step by step, if we learn one vocabulary once a day, in 100 days, we will understand 100 vocabularies. This is not only dharma, all new languages and everything is same. So you don't think, oh, I don't have opportunity to learn the dharma, school and so forth. You can learn with the books and so forth. But the learning dharma means we should really practice. We all in this samsara, so we all have afflictive emotions, especially we have cognitive obscurations. So if we can, it's quite hard to purify completely our afflictive emotions and so forth, but we try day by day, and then step by step will increase. Okay, then third, to have realization. So as it says in the Buddha's single intention, view is to be endowed with realization. This is extremely important. So you should keep that. View is to be endowed with realization. So what is realization? We often say realization, yeah? Realization is to realize the clarity of mind. If one cannot fully realize this, try to realize half. If not half, then one at least needs the aspiration to realize it. What is the Buddha and what is different between Buddha and us? Because Buddha realized when we see fire, we realize that is fire. What is the benefit? If you realize that fire, you will not touch. But babies, maybe 3 months, 6 months babies, they don't know that is fire. That's why many babies burn their hands. Right now, we have very good babysitters. Otherwise, some places don't have that before. My parents, I didn't remember. I did the same too because my siblings took care of me. But sometimes I have young siblings, so then my parents busy, so my parents say, look, your young brother. And my young brother is a very, how to say, he miss parents and then cry a lot. It's so difficult to take care of that. But the main thing is if he moves and touch on the fire, then it burns the hand and so forth. Yeah, it happened often in Tibet when I was there. So what I try to say is if we know fire, so we don't touch it. So that's why we only know fire is the definition of fire is burning. But Buddha knows the emptiness of that fire. So when then Buddha touch it, it cannot burn. So the power of realization has that. So how much we know, it more help. The same way in the laptop, for example, I'm using laptop for write this part of my teachings. I only know from the kindness of my teacher, I only know that part, so it helps me. But beyond this knowledge, there are the almost boundless knowledge with laptops, but I don't know. The part of I do not know, that makes difficult for me. That makes mad and that makes difficult to me. So same like the dharma, we say we should know the essence of mind. Before we were able to recognize the essence of mind, we should cultivate loving kindness. Of course, loving kindness has obscuration, which is a self-centered mind, self-grasping, and then ignorance, jealousy, hatred, desire, and so forth. They're destroyed. It's very difficult, but we never give up. We try to rebuild. And then one day we can cultivate great loving kindness and compassion. Because our natural state of mind is loving kindness, compassion, and blissful clarity. So, for example, if we try to make some, what is the good example? If we are going to draw something, perhaps we need a paper, perhaps we need a wall, perhaps we need other clothes, something, then we can draw. So that means we have basically these papers or clothes we can draw on there. But I just try to draw in the empty space. We cannot draw that. Why? Because there are no foundation of this. It is nature. How to say? However, we cannot draw that. So similarly, if our mind is not, the nature state of mind is not loving kindness, compassion, and so forth, then we try to cultivate it. It's impossible. But our nature state of mind is loving kindness and compassion and so forth. That's where we can. And then fourth, for to be kind and loving to others, loving one's followers, yeah. Manibhadra, what is it? Where we are? Oh, sorry. Okay, that's that's part. To kind, loving the one's followers, and 5 is oh, I see. So the harmonies and all good relations are related to loving kindness. And then dharma, of course, we should keep loving kindness between the dharma brothers and sisters. Of course, we have special samaya. And then not only dharma brothers, sisters, we should keep love for the sake of all other beings. Then to be fearless. This the 5 is fearless. Fearless is, for example, now we should be fearless to benefit other beings. When you try to help others, there will be many obstacles. It's very hard. Not easy to continuously do this way, but don't be scared and try to help others continuously. Best thing is you real act. But if you can't, you motivate. This is very important. And another is fearless means if you are meditator, when you meditate, you will experience different things. Why? Because meditation means we collected all these attentions together. So our minds already scattered. So then we suddenly try to collect all these attentions together, and sometimes it is uncomfortable. And then there will appear very unnecessary things and so forth. And then we will not be scared about this. In this case, don't be scared means we should know they are illusory. They are not truly exist. They just appear in our mind. They are the miracles of our mind. So the fearless means that. And especially, fearless means death, aging, sickness. So we fear them because they make suffering. But don't fear means, oh, I don't believe them, I don't care them. This is not smart. But we should know the reality. How should we know is in reality, death and sleeping are same. Deep sleeping are same. Or consciousness, unconsciousness are same. And dream and pardos appearances are same. So now we have a golden opportunity to understand their nature, and now we have a golden opportunity to cultivate great merit. So fearless means if tomorrow we're ready to die, don't worry about that. Which means death is not always a bad thing. It's depending. It depends. If you are sinful person, you cultivate lots of non-virtues through body, speech, and mind, then death is dangerous. Because one should rebirth in the lower realms, especially in the hell. But one cultivates very well in this life, and then death means just we separate our body and mind. So mind goes where? This consciousness or mind travels to Pure Land. It will take form of a Buddha or bodhisattvas. So that's where death is dangerous or pleasant. It is in your hand. If you make death is pleasant, you should keep your body, speech, and mind, which means practice. And same thing like a sickness. Sickness is unnecessary things. Unnecessary thing. But if you know, now we are sick, definitely that is a karmic result. Karma is a real exist thing. If I eat spicy food, I feel that in my mouth. If I eat the sweet, then I feel that. So that sweet is cause and experience is result. In the night, if I turn the light, then I can see. That light is cause and I can well able to see that is result. If I will not turn light in the night, I cannot see because I don't have eyes of oval. Yeah. So these are the real truly exist. Also, for example, you pour water a flower, this flower grow and blossom. That water is cause and then flower growing is result. And after that makes happy to you. You pour water for that flower. You do not expect happiness. Often said, do not expect happiness means if you expect happiness, that flower makes you happy, so you do water. If some case, well not, if you don't have that karma, if that flower, something happened, then you will suffer. So you kindly, this flower is including Xingbing, so I'm going to make water it through compassion. And then you do that, and then this flower spontaneously makes you happy. If something happened, you don't worry because you already cultivate compassion. So karma and karma cause and effect is real exist. Also, you hold a pen in your hand, and then you draw something. If you draw very nice, hello, good morning, may you long life and happy life. You write that and give it someone, they will happy. So that means you make good cause, and that result makes happy to others' mind. And then other people also say thank you very much and maybe replied very good thing for you. So this is good karma means that. And then bad karma means if you write something very bad thing someone and they read, so then they will unhappy, and then they will reply it and you will unhappy. So that is the negative karma or bad karma. So they are in our hand. And same like a healthy body, happy mind, they are all related over action. The action is, some actions are related this present moment, some related last week, some related last year, some related last in previous lives. So then is to be forbearing. Forbearing, yeah? Forbearing. Right now we have forbearing means we practice dharma and cultivate virtues. At that time, there are many obstacles. Sometimes the obstacles occur, some obstacles, and forbearing means we be tolerant, be patient. And then especially people using some harsh word and some so forth, we try to be tolerant, be patient. The harmonies, it comes from patience, yeah? So if you have a family and you are very good practitioner of patience, and then other family members will be happy, and so you also will be happy. And then especially for practice dharma is only one day we practice dharma. Of course it cultivate merit, but we should practice whole life because we have deep obscurations, so we should cleansing, purify them. So it takes time, so we should be patient. And then the seventh, to be of untiring mind. Okay. Sometimes we are so exciting to help others. We're doing very good things as much as possible, but other people or the other beings, they don't understand. And then sometimes we are really kind of upset and so on. Even bodhisattvas, it happened that some bodhisattvas promised. Maybe you heard that. I will say just 1,000 arms Avalokiteshvara. He has 11 heads, 11 face. So he was promised in front of Buddha Amitabha. He said, I must liberate all beings. And if I break this, may I happen something. Same like what happened. And then what happened with him? And then he liberated many beings. But then the story says that he went to one mountain and look, and still there are lots of sentient beings remain in the samsara. But what is that mountain? That mountain is samadhi. And then he look means wisdom. And then easily understand these beings have afflictive emotions. If we bring only one example with one sangha or person, it's okay. For example, today I talk. For example, today I this morning I try to help you do, you meditate like that and this, those, spend a long, many hours and say something. And at that time, yes, of course, the Dharma friend said that, but afternoon, the Dharma friend, nothing to change. If kind of this happened, and don't be upset. Oh no, I cannot help. There's no way. Not like that. Still try to. So then Thousand Arams, what he did is he saw these beings, the countless beings remain in the samsara. Then he was upset. And then he engaged kind of this samaya, so his head become 11 pieces. And then Amitabha Buddha brought them back and put on his head. So then he has 11 face. Then on top of his face has Amitabha Buddha's face, which means Amitabha Buddha always supported him. And then Thousand Arams Chinese, he has 1,000 arams, which means thousands means actually in the Dharma terms, thousands means all numbers, including that. All numbers, more and less, all numbers including. And then his opens always, his arms always opened, which means he will help others. Then he stand up, that means also he are ready to help others. And then each and every his palm has eyes, that means wisdom, how to help. Willing to help others, but how to help is important. That's where he has wisdoms. Each and every finger, palms have eyes of wisdom, then it will help. So, okay, then add to know how to use words. Yeah. So to know how to use words is actually Buddha taught three turning dharma wheels 3 times, for example. So first Buddha said, okay, not allow, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. This is we call Vinaya or Liberation Sutara. So at that time, suddenly Buddha taught, you visualize emptiness, non-duality. And then these disciples were confused. They don't have this experience before. But then they don't know about karma cause and effect. So they cultivate lots of non-virtues. So Buddha said, don't do that. And then they reduce doing some evil things. And then Buddha said, do more something. Then they have a question, what should I do? Help others. So that's where then this Bodhisattva vehicle or Bodhicitta vehicle is Buddha. Second part, he taught that. Help others because they are suffering. They need what you need. Because you need happiness, right? So they also need happiness. So you help others. And then Buddha's disciples started to do that. And then they help others. And then Buddha is ready to teach the real essential things like a mantra and a vehicle. And then how he did is, okay, other and you both, emptiness. Look at your body. You always say I, but you look at you investigate, analyze from your head to feet. Where is I? And then they practiced it, and then they recognize non-duality. But Buddha don't make very organized, exactly this, that, step by step, like a sunrise in the morning. His first time he said, don't do. At the same time, do little help others, do little things for others. And then it will grow like trees. Our life and tree are same. It takes time, but the natural will grow. And then in the Bodhisattva ways, also this Suttarayana vehicle, Buddha taught about emptiness and so forth, but he taught completely in the tantric vehicles, during the tantric vehicle. Okay. Of those with the four qualities are Ornament of Mahayana Sutara says, broad-based eliminators of doubt, worthy of recollecting and teaching the two natures. Such are the very best of Bodhisattva teachers. This means that one, their teaching is very broad-based because they have studied many things. Second, they can remove others' doubts because they themselves have superb discerning awareness. Third, their speech is worthy of recollection because their deeds are those of holy beings. And four, they teach the two natures, the characteristics of the completely defiled and of the utterly pure. Of those with the twofold qualities guide to the Bodhisattva way of life says, even should it cost your life, never forsake a qualified Dharma master, who is 1. Skilled in the meaning of Mahayana, 2. And 2. Maintains the noble Bodhisattva discipline. The fourth point is how to rely on the Dharma master skillfully. Once someone has connected with such Dharma masters, there are 3 ways of relying on them. 1. By showing respect and rendering service. 2. By cultivating the relevant reverence and devotion. And 3. By personal Dharma practice and earnestness. The first of these has 2 parts. Showing respect is accomplished by prostrating to them, rising quickly when they enter. Okay, prostrating. It is a prostrating. So prostrating, if you prostrate to Dharma master, that benefit will not take Dharma master. Prostration is part of yoga practice in nowadays. Everybody knows yoga, yeah? Prostration, if you eat a lot of food, if you do not move, just eat a full of stomach, it will be cause of diabetes. So if you do prostration, it's digest very well, and then all the nutritions come to your main organs, and some part of garbage things spent, they can work. This in the medical doctors says very clearly, yeah. For example, if you eat a lot of things and that means you give a very heavy responsibility to your stomach. And all of things, your stomach have to work and make it clean, and this good things spent in the heart, clean blood spent in the heart, and this unhygienic part spent in somewhere. All these responsibilities are your level. We have only one level, yeah. So then if we give lots of responsibilities, they will tired. Then they get it's become cause of sick, yeah. So do prostration, it's
makes it healthy for you, fresh. At the same time, you cultivate great merit. At the same time, you purify your physical non-virtue. Same like you, so that's where if you do prostate to your guru, it really your guru does not take that benefit. And then prostration is also a very good way to respect others. Prostration has different types, so due to different cultures, and even the easy way or quickly how to prostrate, or even how to prostrate to our guru, how to prostrate to others. So there are little difference. So, however, it has a great benefit for ourselves. So we should know that. So your prostration, this acting is cause. And then after you have a good health is a result. That cause and the result we call karma. Karma in Sanskrit means action. But we will talk in detail about karma because we have a particular chapter. So at that time we can more discuss on there. And then it's bowing to them. Bowing to Buddha, bowing to Dharma, bowing to Sangha. Circumambulating them. Speaking at the appropriate time with a loving mind. Circumambulating and running, quite similar. But you run from here from few hours and come back, just run. It also a good thing, but if you have some holy, like a stupa or temple, you make circumambulate. It's cultivate great merit. And if you don't have that nearby you, it's fun. When you walk, your mind happy with loving kindness. And then you run. Even the other bugs heard your steps, it benefit to them. When your mind has loving kindness and compassion. So you will become liberator. So it's very important. Then speaking at the appropriate time with a loving mind. This is extremely important. Everybody likes sweet word, yeah? Everybody likes sweet words. So the sweet word comes from good heart. So when we speak, others try to speak politely. It's really very important. Even myself experience, it's part of meditation because it's should be apply mindfulness. First, it's quite hard to speak politely because it's habituated with just directly say something. So, I'm going to respectfully say something. And should make. It seems like a hypocrisy, or what is called that, kind of just make it. It's like a fake. Okay, first whatever. Of course, because make it. Without make, it's hard to come it spontaneously. But from my motivation is not, I'm going to show some not hypocrisy. What is called that? Anyhow, artificial. Yeah, thank you. But then slowly means in the mind, I really have to respect them and do that whenever we're ready to speak. Then we can apply mindfulness, and this then we can utilize in other ways. So it gave great benefit, and then it's looking at the again within unstable mind, and so forth. Looking again and again, what is the benefit? Looking again and again, actually again and again means meditation. So when you look at your guru again and again, this guru's face come to your mind very clearly. So then you are alone in your house, and then you meditate on Vajradhara, your guru. It's very easy. You don't want to make special effort to appear that guru's face in your mind. But at that moment, what you can do is you can transform your mind into guru, which appears to you. And then you can process to realize that your mind is that guru. That guru is Vajradhara. Vajradhara means Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya means all essence, nature of all Buddhas. And then you liberate completely. So all of them are our self's benefit. This was exemplified by the way that Manibhadra. So Manibhadra, Manibhadra, a powerful merchant's son related to his teacher. This, when I taught King of Aspiration, I mentioned in detail this Manibhadra's story. So if you will pay attention there, but today I briefly share with you. So Manibhadra first met Manjushri, and he asked Manjushri how to arouse mind set on bodhicitta. Manjushri said, you must tirelessly follow Dharma masters without becoming discouraged, and then you will see Samanthabhadra. Then Samanthabhadra will guide you to complete attaining ultimate bodhicitta. But first you should go to the south, where there is a Dharma master, Gelong Tinchpal. Gelong means full ordained monk. Full ordained monk. Full ordained monk, yeah. No, I remember one thing that I made a mistake. Can I say that? No, I don't remember completely, but a couple of years, maybe 2 years ago in Gargon, one monk who passed away. And then Rinpoche and some sanghas being together. Then Rinpoche explained about that monk. So he said, that monk was a full ordained monk. So, but I translated. At that time, I thought ordinary monk and full ordained monk are same meaning. So I say that monk was ordinary monk. So that is, I made the mistake. Now I remember. So ordinary monk and full ordained monk are different. Yeah. So he wasn't ordinary monk. He was full ordained monk. So now I confess that mistake. And then Tinchpal is Gelong Tinchpal is his name, and follow him. Manjushri told him. Then Manibhadra searched for the Dharma master Gelong Tinchpal across mountains, rivers, day and night, like a thirsty person searching for water, and eventually he found. At that time, this is a very, very eons ago, so there were no vehicles, and literary tradition is different. Yeah, nowadays the full ordained monk and monk all come to you. That is also great our merit. Come to us and give us voluntarily. But at that time, these masters remain in the very solid place, and then it's very hard to see them. That there were no mobile phones and so forth. So he found. Eventually, he found. He bowed to the Gelong Tengpal's feet, and he supplicated from his deep heart, and then he asked for a bodhicitta practice, and eventually he followed a total of 150 Dharma masters. 150 Dharma masters, he undertook many hardships in following each of them. Finally, he found Samanthabhadara or Kundazambo. So Kundazambo taught him the conduct of Samanthabhadara and the king of aspiration prayers. So Samanthabhadara's conduct is quite hard to explain, but they have a special way to teach to particular sangha. It's related to miracle power. They radiate different lights. But right now, if Kundazambo radiate lights, we cannot see it. So then it's from each and every type of lights radiate thousands of Kundazambos. And so kind of this way, he particularly taught him, and he Manibhadara recognized ultimate bodhicitta. Ultimate bodhicitta and intrinsic awareness or natural state of mind are same. Okay. It says in the marvelous Arya Sutara, gaze instably at your Dharma masters. Why? Dharma masters are rarely seen, rarely manifest, and are seldom met with. So rarely seen is Dharma master, perhaps Dharma master rarely seen, yeah, which means it's according to time, centuries, fortunate eons or unfortunate eons. There are lots of talks, but we don't talk that far away. We don't go this far away. But Dharma master, your mind with a faith is very rare. Whether Dharma master stay 24/7, stay in front of you, your faith is very rare too. Pure faith is very rare. So when you have pure faith, then you see Dharma master. At that time you have great blessings. So Dharma masters have always blessings. Guru Rinpoche has always blessing, for example. So one day Guru Rinpoche just lie down in the doorstep. One person did not know that, and cross Guru Rinpoche's body. So like that. But someone just hear the name of Guru Rinpoche, they have a special feeling as goosebumps and so forth. That means blessing. That blessing invited from your faith. Your faith is very important. So your means our faith is very rare. Faith is very rare. That's where Dharma masters are rarely seeing. Especially seeing, when we say seeing at that time, the Dharma master are the Vajradhara and over natural state of mind. They are indivisible. It's very rare to see that, yeah. Then rely on Dharma masters by serving them is accomplished by catering to their needs. This means providing them with food, clothing, bedding, seating, medicines when they are unwell, funds, and the like, in a way that accords with the Buddhist teaching. This is to be done without heed for one's own life or physical well-being, as exemplified by the realized being Sudha Pura Rudita. Okay. Yeah. Once there was a Dharma master named Noble Dharma or Dharmogata. Sudha Puridita began to follow this master in order to receive Parijana Paramita teachings. But he had nothing to offer in order to ask for these teachings. So he thought about that to do. So he decided the best thing to do was to seal his body and offer a mandala to receive the teachings from Dharmongata. Siddhapuridita declared, who will buy my body? He traveled from village to village, and then Mara ghost, Mara heard him and knew that he wanted to travel the path of the Parijana Paramita, and through this would become enlightened. So he displayed miraculous powers so that the village people couldn't hear Siddhapuridita asking who would buy his body. Then the son of the god, Indra, heard Siddhapuridita, and he checked to see if he could really sell his body or not. So he told Siddhapuridita that he would buy his body. So Siddhapuridita sold all his body until only his bones remained. And he had no doubt and no regret in doing it for the sake of the Parijana Paramita teachings. Through the son of the god, Indra's miraculous powers, Siddhapuridita was not harmed when he sold his body, even though from his side he decisively and painfully parted with his body for the sake of receiving the Parijana Paramita teachings, through which he was eventually enlightened. So these are now we do not need particularly offer our body for receive teachings. That means for many eons we cultivated the merit. So now Dharma come to us. Dharma masters come to us. And now Dharma masters' highest request is cultivate loving kindness, be compassionate, and then practice more, benefit others more. This is their request to us. So perhaps this is exist. We don't want to dedicate our body for them, as this Siddhapuridita did. We do not need to do. So some of them do, as Milarepa, he did a lot, undertaking hardship. He went undertaking hardship. It's depending there. So that's often I said, Milarepa's non-virtue, and at that time, before Milarepa became enlightened, his non-virtue and our non-virtue, if we compete, we have no more non-virtue. But we could not compete his diligence. We are quite lethargic practitioner, and also we cannot compete with his devotion. We have more doubt, more ignorance. So now we have to apply a few things. We do not need follow as a marpa. Actually, these days, if Dharma Master become as a marpa, probably first they should go to the jail. First they put. So this is the degenerate time. It's not good. We do not criticize each others. It's a degenerated time. Very easily to see someone's mistake, and hard to see the qualities. So anyhow, we have a great example. Milarepa he did. So now we can do exist things. But on the other hand, we have great merit. So in brief, the way of the Bodhisattva says, for if alarmed by common ailments, I must implement the doctor's words. What need to speak of when I am constantly brought low by ills like lust and faults 100-fold. And if by one of these alone the dwellers in the world are all thrown down, and if no other remedy exists, no other healing elsewhere to be found, then words of the all-knowing doctor, which uproot over every ill, the thought to turn on him deaf ears is object, and contemptible stupidity. So all samsara beings are sick with afflictive emotions, but we are in the first wave of those to recover. So now we understand these emotions, and they are our cause of suffering. So the kindness of our Guru pours Buddha's path instructions in our ears, show Buddha's form to our eyes, and plants the essence of Dharma, which is bodhicitta, in our mind. This is the power of one's merit and the kindness of gurus. This opportunity is the highest opportunity to become enlightened. So how to utilize this opportunity in the right way? From the union of the Dharma Master's loving compassion, bodhicitta, and the disciples' faith and devotion, there will be pure samaya. And in this way, there is no possibility of avoiding enlightenment. So disciples and Dharma Masters look at each other happily because of this opportunity for the union of the Master's love, compassion, and bodhicitta with the disciples' faith and devotion exist right now. Okay. Then rely on Dharma Masters by serving them is accomplished by catering to their needs. This means providing them with food, cloth, bed. That's how I read. Oh, sorry. This okay. In the sutta, in the instructions for liberation of Sri Sambhava, we read, a Buddha's enlightenment is attained by serving Dharma Masters. The second way is to rely on them by cultivating reverence and devotion, having established the concept that the teacher is a Buddha. Whatever the teacher says in taking to be instruction, never to be transgressed, to be followed in consistency and with the cultivation of reverence, devotion, and joyous trust. This was exemplified by the way master scholar Naropa relied on his guru. It says in the Mother of the Conquerors, earnestly cultivate reverence for Dharma masters, follow them, and have joyous trust. Besides, these wrong ways of thinking about the personal conduct of masters should be abandoned because their conduct is in fact their skillful technique at work. Instead, cultivate the noblest devotion for it. This was exemplified in the biography of King Anala. The third way to rely on masters is the dharma practice and earnestness. There are 3 steps to dharma practice in this respect. First, to study dharma under the master's guidance, then to complete its significance, and finally to make it to reality in practice. We talked a lot of Dharma masters' qualities and how important this. Equally important, Dharma masters and disciples, they both important because they both including 3 jewels. Among the Dharma master, for example, a student and a teacher, they have different layers. Generally, if a student and a teacher have, if they have the same equally physical condition or many things, if same, but in the class, beyond the classroom, teacher is important because teachers help to open our wisdom eyes. Now I'm hold a very thick and big book, and this is not my first language, but I'm trying to read as a horse going on the ice, which means I cannot fluently read it, but however, I am in this book connected. This is kindness of my teachers, English teachers. So I am really, really grateful and who support to the. I thank you so very much for it. So the teachers are extremely important, and through their kindness, I can move my tongues and lips, and you can raise up your beautiful ears. This is the teacher's kindness. So similarly in Dharma, we all trust next life. Especially we trust our Buddha nature. So if we should understand that without Dharma master, however, it's impossible. It's impossible. Otherwise, the practical Buddhas are amazing practitioners. But eventually, they did not apply Dharma masters. So that's why they are stuck on one place. But that place is not lower place. This is wonderful. But now what is our aspect? We do not criticize practical Buddhas and their systems, but what is our expectations? We should become Dharmakaya, and then we should radiate Sambhogakaya, and then we come to as reincarnation of Nirmanakayas and welfare other beings. So through practical Buddha's way, it's hard to do that because they are remained only one stage, and when those good karmas exhausted, and then they will become ordinary being again. That's why we don't want to do. We say we don't want to be as practical Buddhas. Otherwise, they have wonderful qualities. So then this do this earnestly. That is what will be most satisfying for the teacher. That's the ornament of Mahayana Sutara. It says, oh, I thought I almost finished. The firm one who practices just as instructed will surely please the mind. Okay, probably we stop here and then we will discuss next week, and then now we will dedicate all of our virtues together. Janju sem jo ren bo je ma je ba nam je jo je je ba nyam ba me ba ya kon de be war sho.
May bodhicitta, the precious and supreme mind, arise in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.
Thank you so very much. May all you become Buddha instantaneously before me and benefit all beings. Thank you very much.